This chapter will be looking into chapter 17.3 called Mail Merge. Now, I like Mail Merge because Mail Merge gives me a lot of power. Literally a lot of power. Alright, I hope you enjoyed that little sneak peek there. Now, because why I like Mail Merge is because once you already have a template or something that you want to send, but you want to use that same letter or same email or same data that you want to send it to different people, different names, so that you can address them um, personally. So let's take a look first before we head out onto the protocols of chapter 17 on mail merging. So let's take a look what is a mail merge on 17.3.1. Now, a mail merge document is created to save a repeated typing of similar documents that are designed to be sent to different people. It uses a master document and a source file containing the data like the names and addresses of people to send the letter to, and is taken from the source file and placed into a copy of the original document. And this is done automatically. Right, the most common use of mail merge documents is to produce personalized letters for a number of people. The contents of the letter have parts that are the same for all people and parts that are personal to the reader. When using the mail merge, the parts that are the same for all people only need to be typed once, even hundreds of letters are to be created. The personal part of this letter is added using a placeholder, you will know that later, which will hold the individual information taken from the data source. The placeholders can hold information from the data source and or instruction called merge codes, sometimes called field codes. The information from the data source is often a person's name and address, but may also include information about products that they have bought from a company. You will be given a copy of document that will become your master document. This contains the parts for all people. You will also be given a source file, which may be a database, spreadsheet, or text file. You will need to merge the files into a number of personalized documents. All right, let's begin with the practicals. So in the 17.3.3, create a mail merge document. So how do we create a master document? A master document will usually be supplied to you as a source file. However, if a document to be used as a master document is only small, you may be asked to create this document. The source document may be provided in a format suitable for use with any word processor. For example, it might be in a .rtf rich text format or .txt text format file. This may need importing or opening in your file. You will need to import or create a document. Carefully spell check and proofread the document and check that it has a consistent layout. You must then save 2 copies of this document as word process .docx files, making sure you have a backup copy before you start to add the placeholders. You may need to go back to this backup copy if you've experienced any problems. So let's begin with task 17F. So you will have to use the file called mailmerge.rtf as the master letter for mail merge, and the file mmstudents.csv as the data source file. In the master letter, insert relevant merge fields from the data source file to replace the text shown in the chevrons and example field right there. Then replace the text date with today's date in DT, this kind of date, month, year format. Replace the head teacher's name with your name. All right, so head to this chapter 17 and download the mailmerge.rtf. You can save this into some of your locations. And the other one, you might want to use the mmstudents.csv. So download that one as well. So save it in your desktop, for example. All right. So let's open up Microsoft Word. And what you want to do is import that document. Just go by open and find that file that you saved. I save it in desktop, so you can open the mail merge. So you can see that here they have some samples. And right now, they will ask you to open the mailmerge.rtf, which we already did, and save this as a Microsoft Word document because rich tab format will not keep mail merge fields. So What we do is simply just go to File and just save this as a copy. We might want to save this as a docs file and select Save. And it's already saved over my desktop already. Okay, so you can see that this is a docs file. So head back, spell check and proofread the document, correct any errors found. The textbook say there are two. But notice that this document contains some text in chevrons like this. The text within the chevrons and the chevrons will each need to be replaced by a merge code. All right, so we do this one first. We spell check and proofread this document. So let's see what are this one schedule, which is the wrong code, wrong spelling, and this one home. Just spell check and change that to home. That's nice. All right, this sounds weird. You maybe are aware, so we can change that. We may be aware. So you change this one as well. So there are three, not two. Okay. So once you have changed that, all right, change that grammatical errors to two different maybe. The chevrons is the angle brackets that has been done like this. So text that has these kind of open and closing angle brackets, they're literally just called chevrons. So from this time on, we're going to call this chevrons for title, chevrons for forename, and chevrons for surname. All right, let's head to this one. How do we insert a special field into a merge document? To do this, select the Insert tab, then in the text section, select the Quick Parts icon. All right, so that particular textbook area is very simple. You can simply just head on to Quick Parts on the top on the Insert ribbon, then go to Field, drop this down categories, and then select the date. It's a lot longer DDMMY, so you can see that in the textbook, and just select OK. And that will give you the date format that you like to. And as suggested by the textbook, you might want to save one. All right. So let's move on. Attach the source file to the master document. All right, the textbook gives you a little short advice is that once you have attached a data source, do not save the document or data sources into different folders or move them into different folders. Or the links to the source of the document will not work because they need to search that source file. All right. So I had to do this on the document. You can simply head on to the mailings tab on top right here. Right, and then you can select here, select recipients, and click use an existing list. So I saved it in my desktop folder, so I can just select the student stuff and open the source file. Okay, that's basically it for that section. And now let's move on to this area. Check the data source is attached. So that simply can be performed right here. Edit recipient lists. And then you can see that these are the number of surnames and addresses that are ready to go. So since we don't have to edit or make specific make specific names to be selected, so we simply just click OK. And that's the source file we're going to do. Okay, next, insert merge fields into a mail merge document. This is very simple to do so. So head back to these kind of chevrons, highlight the title. Now there are two ways of doing this. You can click on insert merge field, and then you can see there is a menu popped out that allows you to select the fields that you need to, as shown as the textbook. Then you simply just click insert, and you can see there are double chevrons being created for you. You might want to close this, and then I'm going to show you the second way of how to do this easily. Now I'm going to select the forename chevrons, and then I will click this down arrow key. This is the second way, and you select forename, and you can see that being changed to the double chevrons for that. Make sure there are spaces before you move on. And then you select right now the surname, click the down arrow key, and just change that to chevron surname. Okay, you can see that that one has been changed, and then now just select the merge field for address 1. If that comes back, you might want to put that arrow key again, or go back, enter, and then you do so on and so forth for a thread. So I just did the address tree and address floor, and now I'm gonna put in the zip code as well. All right, now this one, I would also like to change this to dear title and select title again. I'm gonna select this one here for surname. Make sure there are spaces in between so it looks nice and neat. And you can select son and daughter merge view. All right, space so that it looks nice. And then change the teacher name to your name. So I'm going to change mine to this. All right. So once you're done with this, you might want to save this as a copy as task 17F. All right, I'm going to save this in my desktop. And once they're done, you actually completed task 17F. All right, so we're going to do task 17G, and this is where literally the fun begins.
This is where the fun begins.
So what you're going to do in task 17G is that you're going to run the mail merge and save into that was saved in task 17F so that individual letters are produced for all students. And then they ask you to save the letters. So basically right here, at this section, you're going to run the mail merge of all records. To do this, task 17G is still going to be under the mailings. You can simply just click on what the textbook has shown us, and you just click the down arrow key on the finish and merge icon right here, and click on edit individual document. To do that, click OK. Then you will see another new, okay, this is actually, because I'm going to pull this off window, you can see that there's a new window open up for a new file called letters1, and you can see that these letters are created with 25 pages, and each of them has different names and addresses being written there. So this is how the magic works for mail merging. And yes, the textbook will ask us to check if there's any error so that we can individually check and edit before we put it into the printer. So when you're done with this, you can simply click on the file and just simply click Save As. I'm going to put this on my desktop, and you can save it as task 17G. Right, so let's do task 17H. You would then have to run the mail merge save in task 17F so that each individual letters are produced for only the students from Port Peppered and select the letters. To do this task, you simply need to go back again to edit recipient list. And you might want to scroll the scroll bar right there. You can literally see there are some names right here for Port Peppered as described in the textbook. So the textbook did not recommend you to individually and manually check across this and uncheck that. You can, but they don't recommend because you may make errors. So to do that, the textbook also showed us that you can click the filter icon under the refined recipient list right here and make sure this filter record is being selected. And under this view, you can just select address tree. This equals to comparison is automatically selected for you. If it's not, just make sure equals to selected, and then you type carefully Port Pepper. Once it's done, just select OK. You can see that the address tree, the 6 people that's living under Port Pepper, 6 people that are living under Port Pepper are selected, and then you just press OK. Once you do that, head back to the finish and merge icon and click edit individual documents. Make sure this is selected all and click OK. You can see there's another window called letters 2 has been produced, and there are the 6 letters indicating the people living under Port Pepper. All right, once this is done, select this and save this as task 17H. All right, the tasks on task 17I run the mail merge save in task 17F so that the individual letters are produced for only the girls from Port Pepper. Now this time has a specific criteria. They are looking for girls from Port Pepper. And the final instruction is to save the letters. Now to do this is very simple again. Go back to the Task 17F menu that you created. This time select the edit recipe list. If you did this, you already have the 6 people selected for Port Pepper. And this time you might want to click the filter box again. And this one here has the criteria and already given to you. So what you want to select this one as of now is son and daughter, and this one is equals to, and then you just simply type daughter right here and select OK. When you do that, there are 3 daughters already. You can see that 3 daughters are selected. Once you selected that, click OK, and simply do the finish and merge again, and select edit individual document, select all. The 3 letters are selected for those girls. All right. Now, once you're done, save this as Task 17. So Task 17J is to ask us to print out the master document created in Task 17F, showing the merged and the field codes. So as you attempt to open the file, a window similar to this will appear. To allow the work that you did in Task 17F, that is choosing the records from Port Pepper for the girls, to be included, you must click the left mouse button on Yes. This window will only happen if you close Task 17F. I'm going to save this again, and I'm going to open up Task 17F for this matter. So when I open this, they will ask me whether or not I want to run the SQL command from the database that I have done just now. So simply I just click yes, and if they could not find the data source, you can simply click options and click remove data or header source. The part just now in the textbook is just a way in which the IGCSE exams may want you to show evidence that you coded this. So you got to make sure all the chevrons are being converted back to this kind of format by selecting toggle field codes to show that you actually done this correctly. So just do that for all of the chevrons that you have coded, and this date as well, which so there you can see that these are being coded. Once you do that, depending on the computer that you have, you might want to screenshot this as an evidence, paste it in a Word document, another Word document, to showcase this as an evidence picture that you have coded. Then save this as Task 17J. All right, so the final task will be what your IGCSE will require you to do to physically print it out as a PDF document. I will show you how to do this. So I still have the Task 17I with me with the 3 girls from Port Pepper. And what I'll do is I go to File, I select Print. Now I will select the printer as Adobe PDF. I have Adobe, so you can select as Adobe PDF if you do have. But if you don't have, you might want to select a Microsoft Print to PDF, and this will just save it as a PDF file. But of course, if you do have a printer back home, or you have a printer right now, you can print it out with the lab printer or your school printer and select Print. Once you're done, it will ask you to save it in the location you want to. You can just name this as Task 17K.